I farm. I have a garden, and I come from a stock of farmers in the Midwest. But it still sort of tickles me. Hey. Oh, okay. Never mind. Um, so, and so you summarize that chapter about all the concepts, theories that folks have discussed and considered when they talk about this type of stuff, and then you apply it to your own experience. I saw this when I did this, whatever. What is the Match.com or something like that? I don't know. But maybe look at how it has impacted your personal relationships with your family members and whatever. I don't know. Pick a chapter, summarize it, and then apply it to your own life. That's the second paper. So again, going back here, just want to make sure this is clear. We got the forms. You're going to doing those weekly, and I'll give you prompts, and I'll say more about that in a second. Tweet a week. Weekly professional emails. Paper 1 on a website talks about best practices. Paper 2 on a chapter in the book, apply it to your own life. And then finally, and this is a big experiment, we are going to do some sweeting. So, what is sweeting? Sweeting comes from the movie Be Kind, Rewind, starring Jack Black. And the premise of that, I think it comes from that. The premise is basically the idea that he gets all radiated or something, I don't know, electrified. And he's working at this old school sort of VHS rental place, and he zaps and destroys all the VHS tapes. And so what he has to do, him and his who's the co-star? I can't remember. But in any case, they remake the movies in very short, vignettes, and they just say to the folks who are renting these movies that they are the Swedish versions, and therefore sweeting. And so you are going to work alone or with somebody else. You're going to pick a movie that is about CMC, social media, whatever. I have a list of possibilities, but it's up to you. And you are going to remake that movie using iMovie or something else, and I'll show you how to do that. And it's going to be hilarious. And I'll let you look at the assignment. The thing's only going to be, the whole film is only going to be, or movie is only about 5 minutes. You do it in like a day. And I've done a couple for national conferences, and they're supposed to be bad, so you can't really mess up here. But in any case, we'll talk more about that later. So that's the final assignment. We're going to have we won't be face to face, but we're going to place these hopefully on a platform where everybody can see everybody's movie. And if you want to try to find some of the movies, I do have a couple of things on YouTube. My wife and I did a James Bond movie for a conference in Las Vegas a couple of years ago, and then we had usually our movies, the conferences we go to, there's a panel where folks get together and sweet movies that are based in that particular city. And then we were in Philadelphia this past November, and so we sweeted Rockies 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. But you can find that really stunning Academy Award. I think I actually won a Golden Globe. I won like a Golden Turd. But in any case, or what they're called, they're Razzies. So those are the assignments, and I'll let you look at the various percentages. So far as take a look at the various grading scale. I know we don't have a universal grading scale, and that's the way things work. But take a look at that so you know that 93 to 100 is an A, but I always give 92.5 or whatever, I bump you up. Okay, threaded discussion. Basically, a lot of the stuff that we're doing in part because we won't see each other face to face, and we have to have some sort of interaction. Not only you watching this stuff, but so every week, not this first week, but starting next week, I'm going to have some sort of prompt that's going to be related, obviously, to course material. And I haven't decided all those yet, but I will. And basically, I'm going to put a prompt on KC on the forum page, and you are to respond to that. I say here, hopefully you'll have a few sentences. I do have this matrix that I borrowed from Dr. Burke that you can sort of take a look at, but your response only needs to be about a paragraph or so. And so respond once to my prompt, and then read somebody else's response and respond to them. So it's just a way for us to have discussion and conversation about course content, but it's online in this forum. And then the tweets are just going to be sort of fun. Tweeting is easy. It's free, and everybody's doing it. All the cool kids are doing it. And so there's lots of different things that you can do. You can respond to course content. You can, a lot of ways that, and you only have 140 characters, so you can't say much. But a lot of ways that people are using Twitter is to retweet things. And so if you find a really cool story about how somebody's using, iPhones in some sort of weird way, I mean, you can tweet that or retweet that. I mean, it doesn't matter. I would ask you, and I don't necessarily have to follow you because I'll be able to find you through the hashtag. It all depends on you. And you get full credit if you do it. Just do it. Use the hashtag CCCMC17, which is Columbia College Computer Mediated Communications 17. CCCMC17. And if you don't know what a hashtag is just it's like a identification marker. So other people who are posting about that stuff use the same hashtag, and then you can find, what everybody is saying and related to that particular topic or subject. So that's tweeting. Talked about the papers. Talked a little bit about sweeting. And again, more information is forthcoming on exactly how I'm going to grade everything. All this is meant to just sort of introduce you to things so you have a sense of what this is all about. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I've already talked about credit hour. Well, I mentioned credit hours. I'll let you read the stuff about credit hours. But generally speaking, that's on page 14. Because this is completely online, everything is online. So I'm thinking, generally speaking, there's some, got some misspellings here. No, that's whatever. I misspelled education. That's pretty funny. But in any case, so generally what I'm thinking is that you're going to spend about an hour a week or so watching these online lectures. You're going to spend maybe about an hour a week doing the threadings, responding to mine, and then responding to somebody else's. Tweets, I say 30 minutes here, but it's not. It doesn't take you 30 minutes to tweet unless you really, really are thinking about every single character. And then there's supposed to be out of class stuff. That's all sort of in class, but we're not in class. And then homework, working on stuff, reading, and everything like that. So, in any case, Title IX stuff. Actually, the information there is wrong because we've had some turnover and staffing changes. And so, but please know that all this stuff, sexual harassment and any sort of sexual violence is doing. And we actually will talk about this when it comes to issues of cyberbullying, and this is really important area I mean, people yeah. There was a recent story about a young girl who committed suicide because of cyberbullying. It's just crazy. Um, Attendance policy is just where it's all online. So, and if everything goes down, I mean, if really if us if if aliens attack and we all die, I mean, I'll give you an A. Try to get everything to me online or on time and online. You will be emailing everything to me, the papers and everything like that, and we'll figure out how to do the final movie. Honor code, don't cheat. I mean, I'll say more about that later on, but for instance, the website paper, I'm not wanting you to cut and paste what the website has to say about best practices. What I'm wanting you to do is to synthesize that information, put it in your own words. Because I am going to want to know where you got the information, very obviously. The alert pandemic policy, again, is sort of crazy because of our situation. Because we don't have face-to-face class, so if you have a sick kid at home, that's fine. I don't care. Double dip, if you have done something that has to do with social media and other classes and you want to continue that and it's relevant to the assignments, I don't care. Just let me know. Talk to me. Yeah, always check your email. Always check KC, and there's more information about KC. If you're unfamiliar with this, I have some directions there for you on page, 16, and also the number to the IT help desk if you're having some difficulties. Don't call me, call the IT help desk. You will be turning stuff to me, into me via email, research. Most of the stuff that you're going to be doing is not like reading like scholarly articles or something like that you'd find in scholarly academic journals. It's mostly on websites and in our own book and everything like that. There's no research papers per se in this class. Though I want writing is fun policy here. Oh, reading is fun. Make sure, ideally, I think I mentioned this before, you would read the stuff beforehand, read it on your own, even though the book's not in yet, but read it, watch my stuff, look at the PowerPoint, digest things, think about it, then respond to the threads or whatever and tweet. But I'm not having exams and I'm not having quizzes because I don't like that stuff, and particularly the timed quizzes and exams that everybody always screws up. So it's on you. Will I know if you read every single chapter that I assign? No. Should you read them because it's the right thing to do? Yeah, if you care about your education. I don't even know really if you watch my stuff or not. It's all about you. You paid the money, so do it. Writing is fun. I do expect your papers to be well written, and I love to look at rough drafts. I got this big old thing about netiquette, and that is how to be appropriate and have etiquette on the net. I'll let you look at that, but we're going to be practicing that through this, everything that we do in class. No presentations or everything like that besides the movie is you're presenting it, but I do have some information here about the Pierce Lab and the Academic Skills Center. I think the Academic Skills Center actually might be very useful to you if you struggle with your writing, to need help with how to topic sentences and whatever, active voice and things like that I'll talk about later, because I do want your papers to be written in a particular way, a particular tone. Catch-all civility policy. Again, we're going back to netiquette. There are some sensitive issues, and so and particularly when on an online situation, people can go crazy. One of the things I think it's called flaming. One of the things about CMC is that it is what's the word I'm looking for? We are not there physically. There's some also can be some anonymity, but we tend to be say things that we would never ever say